Welcome to Cathy Chat. As you can see today, I have another rock star in our fantastic global community, and I would love for you to meet and learn about the one and only Joan Samuell. How are you today, my friend?
I am fantastic. I'm loving the sunshine and a chance to get to chat with Cathy.
Oh. Well, we love that part too, and the sunshine is my biggie. One of the Facebook groups I follow every single day does a countdown as far as one day closer to spring. So I definitely understand that.
We're getting there. That's right.
Yes, absolutely. How have you survived this winter? Like, are you a winter girl or is summer your thing?
Well, so one piece of my business plan is, are you hearing an echo or no?
No,
Okay,
you're
good.
great.
Is always to earn the trip that our company offers. But
Ah,
as you can guess, that hasn't happened for a while. So I am in my mind planning how I can escape to somewhere warm and sunny soon.
yeah. If it stays in your mind, then let's manifest that and get that going, right?
I'm
Oh my,
letting my brain figure it out. Yes. Yeah.
oh, I can imagine that. Now, obviously, we have survived 2020, and we are in the first sixth, almost over of 2021. What does it look like in the life of Joan Samuell, and what is your business, and how have you survived the pandemic part?
Well, I'm an independent Norwex consultant, and January marked my 10-year anniversary. So it
Oh
was a big
my
deal.
gosh, yes.
And I have to tell you, none of us would have ever wished for the circumstances of 2020, right? We can all acknowledge that.
Mhm.
But having a cleaning product that is effective and toxin free, and it doesn't require anything being on the shelves in the store, was a very good place to be. I love that we were able to offer a lot of solutions to people during the pandemic. And so if you're not familiar with Norwex, what we offer is a very reusable microfiber cleaning cloths. And what's unique about them is when you're cleaning with them, because of the way they're made in such a way that doesn't require any chemicals to be added to it. So
Wow.
imagine cleaning windows, no paper towels, no blue spray, just a cloth and water, and so effective. And I know Cathy knows this from personal experience
I
too.
do. I
So,
do.
speaking to 2020, though, of course, I am an in-person person. That is my jam. And Cathy and I were just talking about this. And when things started to break, I had to completely shift my business. So after a couple of days in fetal position, I decided I have a large team and I can either roll up or I can get up. And I knew that we had a lot of solutions that we could provide to people. I mean, if you think about it, people were in their homes with their kids, right? Kids weren't going anywhere. So if you want to know about messes, I'm sure there are some people that understand that on a whole new level. So what we could offer with Norwex, you have my VIP customers page scrolling below, is a community where we can talk about how to make it easy, how to make it so your kids can do it, and how to make it non-toxic. And that is really what our company is all about. Their mission is to help us to live a life less exposed to chemicals, radically reducing the chemicals in our environment. And of course, where is our environment right now? It's right here. So much. And then that went for
That's a good
2020.
point, honestly. And congratulations on 10 years. I mean, seriously, the longevity piece of you being able to stay with the company that long, that has this much integrity and this much usefulness. I mean, think about, and just like when you even said kids can do it, that means
Mhm.
a completely environmentally safe opportunity for young people to learn how to clean. And by the way, if anyone has any kids that like to clean, I am more than happy to pick them up. Let them just go to town.
Exactly. Kids kids like to be useful. I mean, and I think a lot of kids probably learn to clean during this, because
Oh, I
of
bet.
necessity. Parents
Yes,
trying to work a job. Um, but I
yes,
think
I can imagine. That would be amazing. Now tell us if Norway, how long has Norwex been around? Let's start there.
26 years, but they started in Norway, so they aren't familiar to a lot of Americans.
Okay.
Uh, So, and then 2000 or the late 1990s for Canada, and then crossed the border in '07 to the United States.
Wow.
So
That's
a good
amazing.
a good estimate is we're still in less than 5% of the homes in the US. So, of course, as a business person, that's an exciting dynamic for me.
Yes, it is. No
Like,
kidding.
whose life can I change today? So,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
yes.
the sky's definitely the limit in that case. Now,
Mhm.
if you came to our country, the United States, in 2007, and by doing the math, that means you didn't find it right then. How did you find Norwex, or how did it find you?
Good question. Uh, so many changes. So, at the point that I was introduced to Norwex, I was working a full time career as a surgical nurse. I ended up with a full 30 years of that. Um, and I was doing an organic garden because I was pretty committed to the idea that we needed to get the chemicals out of our lives. And, when I thought about the chemicals coming into our bodies, I was mainly focusing on the ones we ate, obviously, with an organic garden.
Yep.
But after a couple of years of that, I mean, I love the people that I met, but literally, I think I made 9 cents an hour doing the organic garden. I figured it out, and I did lose weight and I had a great tan, but I was looking for a business.
9 cents an hour might be a bit of a challenge if someone's trying to support a household, that's for sure.
Yes. So, and I didn't want my kids to hate gardening either. So,
And
so
then
we,
Norwex came into your life.
right. So one of my customers with my CSA, this community supported ag garden, was telling me about Norwex all summer. And I'm like, I am too busy, too busy, too busy. So finally in December, she loaned me a set of cloths, which I did not want to give back to her. That's how impressed I was.
Wow, now that is impressive right off the bat. What is
Yes.
the Do you remember the very first thing that you cleaned that you were basically testing it out on?
Counters in my kitchen.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
we had a patterned counter, so you couldn't really see what was on it. But if you ran your hand along it, you were like, oh no. So, being a surgical nurse and understanding the problem with that, I got an Enviro cloth, our basic E for everything cloth. And what I was shocked by is, first of all, I wasn't using any spray or I wasn't using dish detergent. That counter was not sticky. Like 4 days, I walked by and ran my hand along that counter. It felt so good.
Wow. Well, now
So
that is quite a test. Had she already told you that all you need to use it with is water? Did she already mention that?
she did, but when she told me that it picks up 99% of the bacteria, so again, mechanical cleaning versus chemical, I was very skeptical. And I think that was my background as a nurse, where we use very toxic products to sanitize surfaces. So, Norwex's goal was to make a cloth that cleaned so well mechanically, you didn't have to use anything chemically. And they definitely succeeded. So,
I'm sure it's proprietary, but can you tell us a little bit about what is in the cloth that makes it do that?
yeah, so microfiber, by definition, has a fiber that's 1/6 the diameter of a single hair. So imagine a hair with 6 split ends. That is the maximum size those fibers can be to be knitted into the cloth. But with Norwex, our standard is at least 1/200th of the diameter of a
Oh
human
my
hair,
God.
so much finer. And if you think about it, a lot of the surfaces that you're wiping are textured. They're not smooth. So you
Yes.
need something that can get into even the microscopic grooves, sweep everything out and pull it into the cloth. So it has to do with the size of the fiber, the density, how it's knitted, how it pulls things into it. If you ever have a spill, this guy is great to grab. And so when you're cleaning,
Hold that up again, please. I'm the
oh,
people are just listening and not able to see, but that is pretty awesome.
yeah,
Uh,
so it looks very
wow.
thick
Okay. Yes, it does.
and it has that Norwex tag. And really, to me, one of the most exciting things about it, you see it says backlock above the word Norwex, if you can read
Uh-huh.
backwards. And backlock is our trademarked word for this micro silver that is embedded in the fibers. So the cloth without the silver, with proper use and care, will pick up 99% of the bacteria. And then when you're done, no matter like if you cleaned up raw chicken or cleaned the bathroom with it, rinse it, squeeze it out, and hang it up. That's why they all have this little tab.
Uh-huh.
Makes it easy to hang. And then as it's air drying, the microfiber kicks in and basically self purifies the cloth, getting rid of the bacterial and mildew, that odor that you get in a cloth. I'm sure everybody's experienced that.
My goodness. And so that is the proprietary blend of what makes Norwex different than any
It
of the
is.
things you see out there.
Yes. So you want a quick demonstration in case you're just brand new to this? So
That's fantastic.
I happen to have a mirror with
Okay.
butter smeared on it here because that always happens, right? Okay. So got this cloth wet with just water. And I'm just going to clean that butter off. Now, you don't have to use butter, but I just wanted to have something to show you. So when you're cleaning, that's your first step. I don't know if you can see that, your Enviro cloth.
Perfectly. Yeah.
But if you want it to be perfectly streak-free, you take the window cloth, which is the second cloth that I started with, and the two of these together, it's total wow. So that's your anything, your stainless steel appliances, car windshields. And what I love is you don't have a set for each of those jobs. You have one set that does all of those jobs. So very useful.
So those two cloths that you're holding up, and again, for those of you listening who aren't actually seeing this, two cloths can actually take care of the whole house.
A majority. I wouldn't want to do the floor with these because I like to baby my knees, but and we do have a floor system for that. But yes, so every surface, grease on the kitchen cupboards, a stain in the carpet, this EnviroCloth does fantastic. And keep in mind, we're talking not just no paper towels, but also no sprays. So no stickiness left behind. Huge perk. So
that's a huge perk. My goodness.
yes. And so, 10 years ago, I was business minded already. And I was like, wow, this is the future of cleaning. So I started.
What you're saying is your 9 cents a day or a month or a year was not your best fit.
It wasn't very sustainable, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you probably were looking for something a bit more lucrative, huh?
I was something that also I felt that I had integrity in sharing, right? Because I could not have promoted anything that I hadn't seen work and felt that filled an important niche. So I started sharing. I was very, very timid at that point. Like, I can't even believe I got started. And here's how I decided to keep going.
Okay.
After my first couple of parties, I saw a couple of the ladies who purchased from me at Walmart, tiny towns. We're talking small town Iowa here.
Okay.
And these ladies walked up to me and they were as excited about these cloths as I was. And I was like, okay, it's not just me. This is going to be big. So, and then, with Norwex, it's a direct sales company. And I would never say that any business is a get rich quick, right? None of them are. But in my job as a nurse, I worked beside people with all different work ethics, right? Some that really cared and worked hard, and some that were just kind of there. And we all got paid the same. And what I found with this style of business, the more effort I put into it, the more reward I got. So I'm a carrot chaser at heart. So,
well, that is a beautiful story, though, because think about it. Your friends shared a cloth with you, allowed you to take it home and clean your home. And the next thing you know, you are a 10-year dynamic leader in your business. And for me, when people always say, oh, is this a get rich quick, as you said? And I always say, absolutely. I said, I'm an overnight success and it's only taken 13 years.
I love that.
You see? Because that's what people are looking for. Just like when you say the dangle carrot thing, everybody wants the quickest, fastest, oh my gosh, make $1 zillion yesterday kind of thing. And for many of us, that's not how it works. It's one step at a time. But the benefits of looking back are phenomenal. And the people that you've gotten to meet, just like you said, when you got to see your friends in Walmart and they're as excited about your cleaning products as you, that is, you can't get a better testimony than that. Congratulations. That's huge.
Thank you. And then, of course, I could only envision as big as me sharing in the beginning. I didn't have the vision of a team. And I don't know. I must have crawled out from under a rock or something, right? Out of the garden. And the first recruits that I had were people who said, I think I might want to do this. Funny, right? But what I started to see is, again, I must need to see it to believe it, is how much this business impacted their lives, right?
Absolutely.
People are looking for something flexible, and that's our business model is completely flexible. Not what we do is not optional. We can't produce income without doing it, but we can fit it around our lives, which I like that.
Oh my gosh, of course. Now, I know you can give away all your secrets, but for you to have a team as large as yours is, what do you use as far as training tools or how to keep them motivated, inspirational topics? How do you keep your team excited? Because obviously, after 10 years, you certainly are still excited as you probably were those first couple of months. How do you keep
Truly.
them excited and engaged?
Um, I think relationship is a good part of it. Recognition, meaningful, handwritten, things. And maybe I'm just speaking in my language, right? But, and honestly, helping people find why they need the business. And then if they're hitting a bump, bringing them back to, okay, so we still need to get that swing set for the backyard, right? Or you're
Yeah.
still taking a vacation with me next year. Okay, this is a time to get determined. Just bringing them back to why they're doing what they're doing.
That is so awesome. And I'm sure your team loves you as much as those of us who have got to meet you networking love you too. Now, what does it look like in the day in the life of Joan? So you wake up and you start chatting with your team, you do online training calls. What does it look like for you to be a 10-year Norwex consultant?
Well, as you are, I'm sure know, it has evolved a lot over the years. I spent a lot of time in the early years of my business not being sure that I had something valuable to offer to my team. But then, I don't know, there was a lightning bolt or something. And I'm like, so if I can do it, how can I not, it's like selfish not to help people to achieve the level of success they want. So there was like this little switch that had to flip. But a day in the life, well, today it was, as I told you, running the grandkids to school, which was chaos. If you guys are moms, hats off.
Oh, yeah. Seriously. Been there,
And
done
then,
that.
but in general, my days, I get up and I mean, literally, this is so new. I am starting to walk early in the morning. It's a good thing it's warming up in the Kansas City area. And spend some, time in devotions and just getting centered. And then I open up my phone and like you said, it's all just chatting. Of course, everything 99% online. I have a few wonderful Kansas City area team members that we're all just like, we're going to meet in person. We need a hug.
Yes.
So we do a once a month in-person meeting, and I do a Tuesday chat on my team page. I have a Facebook team page. And so part of what I do is, planning content for that. I just am basically looking at where our team is and then trying to pull in leaders that can help me train, because the beauty of this big team is there's a lot of leaders now that are stepping up and, it's a cooperative effort now. But, we have a regular chat each month to plan what's coming up in the next couple of months. So I guess it probably looks a lot like this, my
Awesome.
days. And I
Yes.
do. But Norwex is mainly, it's not intuitive. Like if you saw it laying on the shelf, you wouldn't necessarily understand everything that I told you. So we do workshops online, which has become so fun. Of course, I'm hopeful that we'll get back to in-person parties here soon.
Oh gosh, no kidding.
But it's just this combination of a set kind of focus each month. I focus on a certain topic each month, but then looking at it for my personal business, my closest team, and then the whole extended team. So I have a beautiful planner and I just map it out.
Oh, you'd have to. My goodness, keeping schedule sometimes is a large challenge for a lot of people who do direct selling, and especially since most of what we do now is online, then that has its own challenges. You've got to make sure that you get up and keep moving, and just like you said, you start your day with a walk. That has to happen because people call it Zoom fatigue and things like that. I understand what that means, and especially when all of your team is not local, and certainly once it's global, then you literally have time zone issues. So you could be up at 7 o'clock in the morning training someone in another country, and all the way down to 9 or 10 at night, again, training someone in another country, because it is a time zone issue for a lot of us now. So I can imagine that.
Yes, on my last workshop that I did online, I had all 4 time zones represented. I was like, wow, you guys are dedicated.
Yeah, that in itself is a challenge, I'm sure. Well, our time is up, my friend. I wanted to see if there's one more product or one more story that you wanted to show or tell us today about your dynamic company.
Oh my goodness. Beyond the mirror.
Yeah, the mirror's fantastic, actually. That's cool.
You know, something that's so relevant to the times, you know, the EnviroCloth picks up, right? It just does that job. And I have noticed a lot of people really liking these travel size ones. They come in a little 5-pack. And I leave with one wet as I head out the door, especially when I have my grandkids with me. But I walked into a well-known membership store the other day, and here's how they were cleaning their carts. I mean, you got to respect them for trying. They had one of those pump-up sprayers and they were just spraying over the carts. So when you put your hands on that handle, it's on you, right? And our skin absorbs without a filter, right? It's one of those ways we take things into our body fast. And so what I do is wipe that off the cart handles. This is my on the go, not only just for obvious cleanup, but to make sure that I'm not absorbing those things. I know one story that I've heard a lot in the last year is how much poisonings are up because people are, pouring bleach on their counters, and they're doing all these things that if you just stop and take a deep breath and really look at what's available to you, there's other great options that are much less harmful.
Absolutely. So. And just like you said, even with the bleach thing, if people choose to do that, that's certainly their deal. But for me, I don't want to touch it, and I certainly don't want to breathe it. And so it's awesome that you have a product that can actually eliminate the chemicals and all the things that many of us have been striving our whole life to avoid. So it's fantastic to have that.
Right. Some well-known chemists have told me that regarding skincare products, even if you wouldn't eat it, then you shouldn't put it on your skin. And think if we extrapolated that to our cleaning products, I mean, you would just be using water and a cloth, right?
Absolutely.
So Norwex has been a great thing on every level. It's the product that can change your life. And it's been fun to see how many people it has done that for. So from the perspective of hosting a workshop and what they get for free, joining my team and vacationing in Hawaii with me, it's all good.
That is so awesome. And again, congratulations on your success. For those of you who are listening and watching with us today, we thank you for being on Cathy Chat. And we are speaking today with Joan Samuell, one of the top leaders in a company called Norwex. So Miss Joan, is there any, what is the best way for people to actually reach you? What would you say is the best way for you to connect with some of the people who are listening and watching with us today?
Well, definitely reach out and send me a friend request and just start a chat. If you're wanting to know what in the world, I can definitely direct you to what in the world. And I also have a customer group on Facebook that's fun, and we feature a different product every week and then give it away on the weekend. So I found that to be a very popular thing for people too.
And what is your Facebook group called?
With lacking a bit of imagination, it's Joan's VIP Customer Group. And you just request to join, and I'll reach out to you when I see your request and make sure you are a real person, and we'll go from there.
All right. So again, for those of you listening with us today, it's Joan's VIP Customer Group, her Facebook group, and her website is www.joan.norwex.biz. So that's Joan Brian Samuell.norwex.biz. And you can reach her website. You can join her on Facebook. And again, that's Samuel with 2 L's. And you can also friend request her. So I imagine your social media platforms are going to light up today, my friend. And I'm super excited again for your success. And I'm honored and thrilled that you were with us today on Cathy Chat.
Thank you. Always great to chat with you, Cathy.
Be sure and reach out to Joan. And again, thank you so much for everyone who's joining us today. And we hope that you will have a fantastic rest of your week. Bye-bye.